Good morning from my living room in Los Angeles, California. I'm Jaron Fahmeyer from Real News Daily with today's headlines for Friday, July 11th, 2008. A U.S. airstrike on last Sunday in eastern Afghanistan killed 47 civilians, 39 of them women and children. President Hamid Karzai set up a 9-man commission to look into the incident. The U.S. said at the time of the incident, I guess that was on Sunday, I didn't do the news, so this was the first time I heard of it, said that those killed were militants. That's the statement they released apparently earlier when it happened, but apparently there was a wedding party going on and all killed were civilians. This story really upset me when I first heard about it a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, and anyway, here we go. Prosecutors in Austria have questioned Elisabeth Fritzl, the woman who was held captive in a cellar for 24 years by her father Joseph. The cellar was under the house where her father lived. He confessed of having 7 children with his daughter. 3 were raised above ground in the house. 3 were confined in the cellar, and 1 died. Apparently, one of twins died as an infant, and he burned the body. So they're looking now into see if they can also prosecute him for the murder of this baby. It's insane. This case came to light after one of the children, fathered by Mr. Fritzl, became seriously ill and was taken to the hospital. There were no medical records found, and that's when she told the police what happened. And then she slipped in a coma, and after being in a coma, she was reunited with her family. And the daughter, who's 42, who was kept for 24 years, is being under close observation in a mental institution. Tour de France, sports. We've got the top 3 right now. Alejandro Valverde still in the first spot, yellow sweater. Philippe Gilbert still second, and third is Jerome Pinoy. Some other news, and a report was released that the coral reefs around the world are in bad shape these days. It's not new, I think it was already for a long time. A paper release says as much as a third of the world's coral species may now be headed towards extinction, thanks to problems like destructive fishing boats, to ocean waters warmed up by global climate change. Then some happy news. First of all, Hellboy second is opening. Hellboy number 2 is opening this weekend. Got great reviews. I have no interest in seeing it, but it got really good reviews. An early review for me will come up right now. This week I saw a screening of Mamma Mia, which will be released next week, July 18th, and I would recommend not seeing this movie. It was one of the most horrible movies I've ever seen in my life. It's horrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. Pierce Brosnan singing. I even didn't like Meryl Streep singing. I've never liked ABBA. It was really, really, really bad, and I had a really hard time sitting through it. I took my roommate to the screening, so I didn't want to walk out. I never walk out of movies, but this movie was so painfully to sit through. But hey, that's just my opinion. I tried to do, because it's a little depressing everything that's going on in the world, so I'm trying to find some happy news. This is really not news. I try not to report about celebrities, but here we go, because this happened in a country I used to live in. Olivia Newton-John wed John Easterling on June 21st in Cusco, Peru. I used to live in Cusco, Peru on and off for about 4 years. 2 years, sorry. So I know the city well, and her husband is called Amazon John because he has a company that sells botanical supplements that come from the rainforest. Um, um, Cusco is a place where you start tours to Manu, which is a um, protected part of the Peruvian rainforest. It takes about 12 hours to get there by bus. Been there many times. It's my favorite place in the world. I call it paradise, and it's beautiful. So I think they were married over there in Cusco because they have some kind of trade going on with Manu. And real quick, I want to mention that two siblings were reunited after 66 years after being separated in 1942, World War II. Pretty much they were the only survivors of their family. They have no idea what happened to most of their family. One lived in Pennsylvania for the rest of her life, and she's always been looking. Especially her brother, the younger brother, who's like 73 right now, had never gave up looking, and finally found out that his sister was in Pennsylvania. He lived in the Ukraine, and the Red Cross have been helping to get them reunited, which is a beautiful story. I believe one or two siblings also survived the war, and but later on died. So these two, after 66 years, have been reunited. I just find it amazing that so many years after the war, this is still happening. All right, this is it. Real News Daily from Real News Daily in Los Angeles, California. I'm Jaron Farmeyer. Over the weekend, I'm gonna try to do something about maybe put some music on the opening credits and on the ending credits, and we'll see how that's gonna turn out. And shit, I'm at 7 minutes right now. All right, have a great day.